Dr. Khandwala, and I'm the Clinical Director of IVF Services at the Fertility Point in Nairobi, Kenya. I welcome you back as we are going to now show you a video on a very interesting procedure in IVF, which is egg retrieval. The egg retrieval is usually done through the transvaginal route and guided by the transvaginal imaging. And I hope you like this video. I hope it is informative for you all. And please like and subscribe the channel. The retrieval procedure is done through the transvaginal ultrasound guidance. So we require a transvaginal ultrasound probe with the biopsy attachment as shown and the suction machine, which is foot operated and showing a pressure of 120. And this is the ultrasound machine on which the screen shows the ultrasound image. So this is the transvaginal probe with biopsy attachment. The needle used is a single lumen needle which is 350 millimeter long, and we flush the needle initially with the flushing media so that we know that the needle is patent even if we are using it for the first time. And we use disposable needles, so they are only for single use. Then we put the vaginal probe inside the ultrasound. As you can see, we can put it in the vagina and see the image of the ovaries, and then insert the needle into one of the follicles, and then with the suction, negative suction pressure, we aspirate each and every follicle as shown. So this shows the test tube which is put in the heating chamber, and the test tube is showing the fluid being collected which is aspirated from the follicle as shown on the ultrasound, with the needle going from one follicle to the other. As soon as we complete one follicle, we go into the other follicle, evacuate all follicles, and the fluid comes out into these test tubes. These test tubes are then taken into the lab, and the lab in the lab, the embryologist under the stereozoom microscope will identify the oocytes or the eggs. Here we have an ovary which is a little away, and I'm telling the anesthetist to put pressure on it so that it can come closer to my needle, and then I will put the needle inside, and there it goes, and the needle is aspirating the follicle. So sometimes you have to tell the anesthetist or any assistant to press on the abdomen to give abdominal pressure. So this is how the end of the procedure will be looks like on the image, as all the follicles have been aspirated almost. There are a few follicles still remaining which I am still aspirating with the needle. There are multiple small follicles left which we also need to aspirate, and once all the follicles are aspirated and the fluid is out, then the ovaries become much smaller in size, though there is still a chance of an ovarian hyperstimulation despite having such follicles remaining. And hopefully we collect as many oocytes as possible. The maturity of the oocytes will be telling us which oocytes can be fertilized and therefore become embryos. So this ovary basically is a typical PCO or a polycystic ovary, where multiple follicles are situated in the periphery and very few central follicles. So you have to go to the side as I am going there and go on aspirating one by one as they may finish everything. These are the other ovary where there are bigger follicles as we aspirate all the follicles. And then once the follicles are aspirated, we will remove the needle from the vaginal, from the ovary to the fornix and to the vagina. And then that is the end of the procedure. So egg retrieval is done, and then we can see if there is any bleeding from the vagina. If there is no bleeding, then we just revive the patient back. We wake her up, and then she remains for 2 or 3 hours after the procedure in the recovery room, and then she can go home. So this is what the procedure of egg retrieval entails.